fellow artists. Today is the element of art form. What you're going to need to use today is you must have a ruler, pencil, and a permanent marker. Okay? So that's not hard. This is our fourth hand project. First you did line, then you did shape, then you did color, and then we did, 3 projects in between? Now we're to our fourth element of art, form. With form, instead of just shapes, which are two-dimensional, they take the line and space and they create a shape. And you had a choice between geometric shapes and you had organic shapes. Now it's all about form. With form, you now have depth, okay? So you're going from two-dimensional objects, flat objects, to now three-dimensional objects, all right? Today's hand element of form that you're going to do is I'm going to show you one example. You do not have to do your example of form this way at all. If you have a better way and you know how to make spheres and you know how to do cubes, you go for it. The only thing it has to have is one, it has to have a hand because that's the common theme through all of the elements that we're using. It also has to have the word form, F-O-R-M, on it so we can easily identify it. And I think I said this already, it has to have a hand. So hand, form, and it has to show depth. So there you go. Any way you want to do it. I'm going to start with my hand just vertically like this. I'm going to keep my fingers fairly far apart like this. We've kind of been doing it this way for the most part. Now we have changed it up some. Up to you. You're the artist. Just has to show form. So think cubes, cones, cylinders, spheres, all of those. All right, so there's my hand. Kind of a little lumpy and bumpy there, huh? Now I'm going to use my ruler. I think this is the easiest way to do this. And start with just one line, and it goes to my hand and stops. Comes to the other side, goes to the other side, and stops. And then it moves on down. I'm lining this up fairly consistently. Does not have to be absolutely perfect, but the closer it is, the better it will look. One thing that you'll notice is we're kind of doing every other one. You will be going back in and doing one in between, because the more horizontal lines you have behind the hand, the better this looks. I just keep moving up. Gets tricky when you get by the fingers. Stop, stop, and go. Now, some of my friends don't use a ruler. I certainly do not say you have to. I find it easier. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. So I have an empty spot, so I have to go to the thumb and then on the other side of the thumb. It looks like it really needed one right there. Let's check that, because maybe I just didn't see it. Nope, still don't see it. Kind of tricky that way. All right, so I start for the finger, go over, start from that line, go there, in between, and then I think my thumb's now out of it. Oh, yeah. You'll see. We'll get back to those fingers in just a moment. And then you're going to go, it's still behind. Still behind. Another one here. So I think we're on the top of the fingers. Stop for that one. Stop for the forefinger. Go over. Yep, we missed that one. Ooh, that one's just a smidge into there. And this one now takes us almost all the way off. Just going to do that for consistency. Now you have a choice. You can either use the ruler and divide it in half. I kind of just eyeball it, up to you. This way it gets a little ruler usage out of the way. I think that would have gone right there too. My straight lines aren't perfectly straight like the ruler was, but I think it's still going to work. And like I said, some of my friends don't use a ruler at all. I think it's sometimes nice to have that to guide you along. All right. Now, the trick to this is to make your hand and create a big bump. So we go from this line. It has to follow the line. Go up and come back down to your line. It goes up, comes back down to the line. So you can start seeing that it's creating that form now, that third dimension. The curve is what's creating the bump. So it looks like the stripes are coming up, coming around, and then back down. See how that's working out? Now I kind of messed up here, so I'm going to fix that. Take a moment to fix that. There we go. Oh, it's getting a little precarious now watching those lines. Whew. I think I'm going to go ahead and redo this one. And imagine where that would have stopped. And then go ahead and make this more of a bump. I think that's the trick there. Here, I'm going to do these. Nice big full curves. There we go. Now you can see how this one doesn't kind of fit in. That's my problem line right there. There we go. And this one's kind of a problem. There we go. I think that works out. Alrighty. Now it's all about tracing over that. Make sure that if you're using a permanent marker, and I do recommend a permanent marker on this, that if you're using that permanent marker, then, oh, I see what the problem is. It's this guy right here. Yepper. Ta-da. Sometimes you just have to make adjustments. And then this was the culprit. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta fix it. All right, still have a little problem spot, but I think that's gonna work for me right now. I see. Yep. Mm-hmm. There we go. Anyhow, so here we are. Make sure you cover your work surface with a little something, extra paper, whatever it might be, and you are going to transform all of these lines by using your permanent marker. There you go. So there you have form. Now I could have definitely made these a little deeper and made some adjustments there. Completely up to you though, boys and girls, what you would like to do. Somewhere on here, you also need to write the word form. Because remember, one of the requirements was you need to show depth in an image. You need to write the word form, and you must use your hand. So once you've filled those requirements, you're done. I'm going to go ahead and put in form. F-O-R-M. Form. Now, next visit, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and decide how you're going to color it. It is completely up to you. You'll be allowed to use markers, the water and marker technique, colored pencils, crayons, whatever you would like. So, until next week, see you then. Bye-bye.